A very good morning once again from the sports desk. AmaZulu impressed many by finishing as runners-up in the DStv Premiership last season. That has now become something the club president expects of them every year. Usuthu's owner, Sandile Zungu, wants nothing less than a third-place finish at the end of the season. And to help his coaching staff achieve that, he went shopping in the January transfer period, adding 2 new players in MAJOK from South Sudan and former Orlando Pirates and Cape Town City man MOBARA. Zungu joins us now via Zoom to discuss the transfer business and expectations. A very good morning to you, Manzini, and thank you so much for joining us. So, you don't find it a little unrealistic to expect a top 3 finish this season, considering how difficult things are in the DStv Premiership?
Thank you, Morena. Thank you for having me here. It's been a very tough start to the current season, undoubtedly. We've had many draws for which none of our players or technical staff, nor us in the administration are happy about, but the boys were trying very hard. We think they are absolutely rejuvenated. We're in a good spot to finish even above where we were in terms of points last season. Certainly a top 3 finish is not unrealistic, but one thing for sure is that AmaZulu is a top quartile team. We have to be always counted among the top 4 teams in this country. And on that objective, we think we are well on track.
What happens if Benny McCarthy doesn't achieve this, President?
Look, it's too hypothetical. He will achieve it because he's quite an ambitious coach, and he's quite a determined coach. He loves his job, and he knows exactly what is at stake, not just for him, but for me, for the administration, and for the brand of AmaZulu. We're all doing our damnedest best. Hypothetical possibilities don't help in this situation.
He said when we were over at the ground speaking to you guys during the week that he would have liked to have a little more in his squad in terms of January signings. Has he spoken to you about that? Has he told you what he would have liked? What happened in getting more players? I mean, understandably, you can't buy players that are not available to you. So, you know, transfer business becomes tricky in that sense. But has he spoken to you about what it is that you guys could have done more for him?
No, absolutely. We do communicate, and there are lapses sometimes, especially when people are overseas and we are local. But we do communicate, and he made it very clear who he would have liked to have on the squad. And some are not available because their teams are struggling, and some are not available because we've got an allocation of 5 foreigners. And we can't have more than that. So those are some of the practical possibilities or realities. But we are very clear about who he would have wanted and in the team. And we have to make do with what we have and what is possible. I think everyone is happy. Remember as well that the January transfer window is not for making wholesale changes unless you are faced with a disaster like other teams are. But in our case as AmaZulu, our departure point is that we've got a very good squad who have delivered when no one was expecting and who continue to deliver. They say we fixed the country sometime in November or in December when we played against the Mamelodi Sundowns. No other team has done that. But this team that we are emboldening, that we are tweaking, has done that. So the departure point is we have a very strong squad. The 2 additional players add and make our team impenetrable, unbeatable, invincible.
Just very quickly before I let you go, Manzini, is the Nedbank Cup part of the mandate for this season? Obviously, you want a top 3 finish. You want to be involved in Africa, but there is a cup competition to be played for. Do you want that too?
Look, we would love to win the cup. The last time AmaZulu lifted a cup was in 1992. Remember? That's a long time. That's a generation ago. So Nedbank is in the offing. A few games from now, we could be lifting the cup. But let's start with Orlando Pirates. That's the only team that, since we got involved as a Zungu family, we have not beaten in the DStv Premier Soccer League. Everyone else, they know the pain of losing to AmaZulu. So it's a challenge for us to do the right thing. If we do the right thing, anything is possible. So it's one game at a time.
Thank you so much for joining us here on eNCA this morning, Bab Zungu. That is the AmaZulu president, Sandile Zungu, of course, just unpacking his January transfer business. He's expecting a top 3 finish. He's hoping that his team does get to lift the Nedbank Cup. And, of course, he wants to beat Orlando Pirates, the one team that has not felt the pain of losing to AmaZulu, as he says.